Hey guys, Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo for the European Cricket Network. My guest today is Daniel Weston, the ECN founder. Dan, welcome. Now, we're pretty excited, aren't we? Because we're going to talk ECC 24, the European Cricket Championship, the Euros of cricket, and we're going to reveal the groups.
Yeah, thanks, Vinny. Some big changes to the ECC for this year. It'll be more promotion, more opportunities, and more competition that'll be closely fought, so can't wait.
Yeah, so let me just expand on that. So this will be the biggest European Cricket Championship ever, with 32 nations competing for glory. And for the first time, they've actually been broken up into two tiers. So we actually have a 21 team or 21 country ECC, and also the feeder competition, the 11 country ECCX, for those extra teams fighting for the chance to get promotion in 2025. So it's a very exciting concept. I know we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are. With it, there's going to be more heroes that come and rise to the challenge here. Playing with the ECCX in that second tier will mean that, but people that may not have got the chance to win a big trophy is going to win trophies and MVP awards, and then there'll be the surprise promotion and relegation that we'll discuss.
Yeah, really, really excited about this. So essentially the first 10 days of the 4-week ECC window will be the ECCX, and this will have its own finals day, it'll have its own playoffs, its own ECCX final, its own trophy, its own MVP. So it's a fully fledged competition, and actually the top two from ECCX will get promoted to the ECC in 2025. So what a great boost this is for some of the teams that the cricket isn't necessarily at the level as some other countries so far, but certainly it's going to be a very, very healthy competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we uncover the teams in that group, it's really, really hard to tell who's going to win. So it's going to be a great spectacle. We can't wait for it.
Can't wait. So why don't we get underway now? The ECCX actually has 11 teams in it, so slightly unusual. We have a group of 6 and a group of 5. Let's start with the ECCX, Group 1. All right, so ECCX, this is the second tier of the ECC. Ultimately, there's 11 teams competing in this competition. The top 4 from the group stage will play a 3-day kind of playoff series that finishes with a final. The 2 finalists will be promoted to the ECC in 2025. So now we're going to talk about Group 1. And it is slightly unusual, but there's kind of a luck of the draw element with this because there's 6 teams in Group 1 and there's 5 teams in Group 2. So look, Group 1, yes, you've got a bit more competition, but also you get to play more games. I think that could be an important factor. But let's talk Group 1 teams. Okay, so headed off by Isle of Man, and then we've got Estonia, we've got Bulgaria, and then Croatia, Turkey, and Slovenia. So 6 sides there. I think it's wide open. They'll play for 3 days in the round robin stage. Then the top 4 teams will make it to Group 1 finals day on Thursday, I should say, the 26th of September. So what do you make of Group 1?
Yeah, well, obviously we've used T10 rankings to come up with a picture of these tiers. It's just an unreadable group. I mean, there's going to be some fantastic cricket played between those teams. Bulgaria have played really well in the past. Estonia are a great, well-disciplined team. Isle of Man have this traditional cricket that they bring to the table, which has been great. We've seen them do well last year when they joined. And Slovenia and Turkey are, fantastic people and some great fielding abilities that we've seen in the last 3 years. They've been involved. So it's just too close to call.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be very, very close. So these 6 teams, essentially, they'll play all the opponents. So they'll play 5 matches, and then they'll have the top 4 go through to finals day. The top 2 will get the double chance. Both finalists will actually get to come back during the start of week 2 for the playoffs. And that's going to be pretty interesting as well. Look, I think here, Estonia, I think good things are happening in Estonia in cricket. We know there's a lot of investment. I think that they'll fancy their chances of going through. You've also got Isle of Man. I mean, they actually played some good cricket last year, just kind of fell away on finals day. You got the natural rivals, Croatia and Slovenia, who played a really entertaining ECI last year as well. So Isle of Man, Estonia, Bulgaria, Croatia, Turkey and Slovenia, the first 6 teams to get on the park in Group 1 of the ECCX, starting on Monday, the 23rd of September. Moving on to Group 2 in the ECCX. So this is a 5-team group, so it's 1 day shorter. It will take place at the end of week 1, so Friday, the 27th of September, as well as the weekend of the 28th and 29th. These teams will play their 4 opponents, and then same format, they'll have the top 4 going through to finals day. And these teams are Greece, Czechia, Luxembourg, Cyprus, and Serbia. I mean, again, really even group, very hard to call group. some teams that have had some success actually in the ECC in the past, some that are slightly less experienced. Group 2 is going to be really exciting as well.
Yeah, it is. It is, just too hard to call there. Cyprus have to be, pretty warm favourites, I would think. But Luxembourg have played some sensational cricket in the last few years, and they come up with golden ball wins and close matches, and they've had some real success there. So, another really tough group to call.
Tough to call. I mean, look, I don't think you can count any team out of this group. I think Greece, I just think good things are happening in Greece. There's a lot of young native talent there as well. I know Georgios Galanis, one of my favourite players to watch, the teenage leg spinning sensation. You got Czechia and some of the raw talent in there. I think that they will really fancy their chances of progressing from this group into the playoffs. Cyprus, you mentioned, Luxembourg, you mentioned. Look, Serbia as well. They've got some players in there like Adrian Dunbar, like Wintley Burton. They've got the Vukusic, the Zimniches, I should say, who I think are really prodigious young talents as well. So again, I think this ECCX, we're seeing a lot of kind of native European talent coming through, and it gives them an opportunity to shine.
Yeah, and we want to create heroes, and we want to create, moments that are really special. And you think about what the Beast has done from Czechia.
Yeah.
He's going to be there with a chance to win a trophy, potentially be the MVP of that. And there's so many cricketers who will just have the chance to shine.
Yeah, so just like Group 1 in the ECCX, the two top performing teams in Group 2, they'll go through to the playoffs that actually start the very next day at the start of week 2. So that starts on Monday, the 30th of September. So we've covered the ECCX. That's 11 teams broken up into a Group 1 and a Group 2 of 6 teams and 5 teams respectively. The top 2 from each group play the playoffs, and ultimately the ECCX champion will be crowned on the second Wednesday of the tournament. Really exciting concept. I know it's certainly livened up a lot of countries who now think they can win an ECC trophy, an ECCX trophy.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's a special moment, special opportunities, and that's what we're here to create, great platforms and great opportunities for cricketers in Europe. And see some guys shine.
The top 2 in ECCX, so essentially the ECCX finalists, they will be promoted to the ECC in 2025. So really looking forward to that. Best of luck to everyone involved. But now let's move on to the Premier Division of the European Cricket Championship. So with the 2-division system essentially in ECC 24, as we mentioned, 11 teams are playing in the ECCX competitions. It'll kick things off over the first 10 days. That does leave 21 countries this year in the Premier Division of the ECC. So how this works, with there being 21 countries, the previous champions, England 11, they go straight through to Championship Week, but all other 20 countries, they're going to have to qualify. So we have 4 groups of 5 to reveal, Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. Only the group winners will progress to the Championship Week. So we'll have 5 teams in Championship Week, England 11 and the 4 group winners. So we're going to kick things off with Group A in a moment. But how are you feeling about this new ECC with back to the 21 teams, which I think is similar to what we had in the second edition, but that's going to be super competitive.
Tough cricket, really tough cricket. If you think about, it's difficult to predict any of these matches, and that's what we're here to see. Close cricket, good cricket, teams get better and scores go higher, bowlers get smarter. Just by playing these close matches. So you'll see here the compression of these two tiers will just make for better action. I
just think that easy matches are a thing of the past. I know that last year when we expanded to over 30 countries, we did have a few mismatches, let's be honest, in the group stages. And so I just think with this format, you can't be asleep at all. I mean, last year we saw Malta almost beat England 11. It went so close. We saw Switzerland beat England 11 as well, the ultimate champions of ECC 23. So I think this is going to be cracking. When you see these groups, your jaw's going to hit the floor because there's no easy pass through for any of these countries. Why don't we kick things off with Group A, which will start on Thursday, the 3rd of October. So Group A, first 5 teams that we'll see in the Premier Division of the ECC. And this is a banger of a group. So it starts with Ireland 11, and then Scotland 11, and then France, Portugal, and Germany. 5 fantastic outfits that we're going to see on the park in Group A.
We're going to see 4 group of deaths in all 4 of these groups. Really, really tough there. How do you call Ireland and Scotland?
I think it's going to be great to see them actually playing against each other in a group stage for the first time. I think that's going to be something quite incredible to watch. I think obviously France, they're going places. I remember the first time we saw them in 21, they didn't really perform, but they have a lot of confidence. Of course, going to the ECS in France this year, that's a great chance to have a look at some of their players at a domestic level. Portugal, let's not forget, Portugal beat the Netherlands just like in the first ECC in one of the great upsets, but also there's a lot of good things happening quickly in Portugal. In fact, we're in Portugal right now for the Western Shield. And then Guernsey, who I think have got some really good cricketers as well in there, and just, yeah, impossible to predict really. But I think Iron 11, considering they've made it all the way to the top 4 last year, they will have to go in as favourites. These teams will play 4 matches in the group stage on the 3rd and 4th of October, which is a Thursday and a Friday. They'll play finals day on Saturday, but only one team can progress.
Yeah, but that's on the park. But when I think about off the park, all 5 of those countries bring a great supporter base. You know, so you end up with a lot more people at the ground, better atmosphere, which makes it really special to play in front of as well, because all those countries bring a great bunch of friends and family that come and watch, and people from the federation, and the atmosphere is going to be electric.
Yeah, it's fantastic kind of group in the way you've got 3 British Isles sides, if you like, or British and Irish kind of region teams in Ireland 11, Scotland 11, and Guernsey in there. So, and then you throw in France and Portugal, 2 very competitive continental sides. That's going to be great. That's the first of 4 groups of the ECC. On to Group B, and this will start on a Sunday, actually. Of course, there's no off days anymore at the Cardamom Oval. So this will start at the very end of week 2 and then moving into week 3 of the tournament. So it's Sunday the 6th of October, Monday the 7th, and Tuesday the 8th. Group B has Germany, and of course, you're a former German international, we know that. Hungary, as well as Denmark, Austria, and Romania. What an interesting group this is going to be in Group B.
Yeah, Romania's there ranked in the 5th position on there, but they did so well. The Cluj team at the ECL only a few weeks ago was fantastic. So they're actually contenders there to go the whole way. So Germany did really well last year. Unfortunate, maybe in the weather of last year they got unlucky, but they're going to come with a ferocious team as well. And we know Austria can do anything, and the Danish team always appear with great strength. So
Danish team always the bridesmaids on a long run of making the final and actually progressing to a championship week. Will this be the year? I guess time will tell. And of course, the top team in Group B, they will return a week later for Championship Week. It actually starts on Tuesday, the 15th of October. Hungary, big question there. Laius Deploy, will he be available? Will he be out there? He hit a record at the time, 163 last year against Turkey. For Germany, they'll be keen to go all the way. They had the kind of squad that could do it. And you must be very proud as someone that represented Germany to see great things happening in German T10 cricket. Yeah,
very proud. And Atik and all the players there, the fantastic spirit that they bring to it. I just remember watching Hungary play and Deploy hitting those sixes in the night sky. It was like shooting stars going off. If he brings his game and his brother and his family and friends will come again, then Hungary could actually be a big surprise packet for that group.
You mentioned Romania. I was really proud, I think, to hear the Romanian national anthem for the first time at the ECL with their champion club, Cluj. Last year, they essentially had a really cracking eliminator against Malta. It didn't quite go their way on that day. But Austria, they'll be disappointed. They lost their eliminator last year to Finland. And I think that Austria will be keen to make up for that. And I think this is going to be a very, very competitive group. Can't wait for it. The 6th, 7th and 8th of October, which is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, straddling week 2 and week 3. That's Group B. Let's move on to Group C. So moving on to Group C. And of course, each of these groups in the ECC, the Premier Division, they are groups of 5. There's 4 of them. That's 20 teams that have to qualify through the group stage. And England 11 will be waiting for the group winners in Championship Week, which starts on the 4th Tuesday. So moving on to Group C, we have the hosts, Spain. They'll be on the park. Switzerland will be on the park. Belgium will be on the park. Malta and Finland. This is such an exciting group. And of course, Spain, they were that close to making the ECC final last year. It was a record chase from the Netherlands that kept them out of that. But what do you make of Group C? Yeah, well,
Spain have got a lot of pressure on them, I think, because they're expected, right? They're expected to go through here. But the Belgians, with their Belgian ball, if that comes off again and again, and we've seen it happen before, then they're going to be putting huge totals up, which Spain will have to chase. So it's a tricky one to call, that one.
And Belgium, they've done something Spain haven't, because don't forget, Belgium did make the final of the first ever ECC in 2021. And actually whacked 148 against England 11 at the time. That probably played a bit higher. And we thought, oh my word, the Belgians, they're going to take the first ever trophy. Wasn't to be on that day. Switzerland beat England 11 last year on finals day in their group. Unfortunately, they couldn't back it up under lights. I bet they can't wait to get back for another crack. Wonder if Fahim Nazir might be available for them this year, but Hassan Ahmed did very well. Idris Haque, I think, opened very well with them last year. They've got a reasonably good bowling attack as well. Malta went within that far of beating England 11 as well. So actually all of these sides. They've got a bit of history, I think, with the English 11, who are waiting for the winner of this group. And then Finland last year. I mean, they kind of stepped up when they needed to on finals day and won their eliminator. Couldn't go further in the tournament after that. But we know they've got a lot of talented players like the Wild Thing, Amjad Sher, Jordan O'Brien, now that he's qualified, provides a lot of big game experience for them as well. So Group C is another cracking group, isn't it?
Yeah, and all these teams will play a lot of T20I cricket this year, which will be really, really competitive stuff for the ICC World Cup qualifiers. So they're all going to be coming in with good form.
Yeah, Malta, probably didn't mention them too much, but just think about Boom Boom Basil, think about Zishan Khan with his stability at the top of the order, some of these wild card kind of players like Waka Afridi, who's a tearaway. I just think that's going to be very, very interesting as well. There are no easy games here, no doubt. Whoever turns up on the 3 days will go through. That's Group C. Time to reveal the last group, Group D. All right, on to Group D. And like you said, every group is a group of death, I think, in the ECC this year, with just the top 21 ranked teams based on last year's performance. But this is a proper group of death, I think. Let me read them out first. In Group D, we have Netherlands 11, we have Jersey, we have Italy, we have Sweden, and we have Norway. The last 5 teams we'll see in the group stage. What a group this is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, the Dutch are, you'd think they'd go a long way in the group, but Italy have never missed a finals week.
Yeah.
You know, so there's going to be some upsets. There's going to be some really tough cricket. And then with Jersey, obviously, you've seen the old Victorians and those group of guys. Their T10 cricket is phenomenal with their ball striking and their fielding. So this could be finals week already, that group.
That's without even talking about Sweden and Norway.
Yep.
That are 2 northern sides that absolutely bash the ball. And they really take no prisoners. They're going to be attacking, and we've seen it come off. Look, one thing I think that's interesting about this group is that it has 3 teams from last year's Championship Week. Now, last year in the Championship Week, there were 7 teams, and obviously 6 of them have to be in the group stage. And just as luck would have it, Netherlands 11, Jersey and Italy are all there. Jersey and Italy were meant to play last year. There was a big washout there. They finished pretty much neck and neck on the table, just missing out on the final 4 in Europe. But I just think Netherlands 11, of course, they won it in 2022. I think whoever wins this group, they are real contenders for the whole thing, because they might be able to take that momentum. Of course, they're playing Saturday the 12th, Sunday the 13th, and then their finals day is actually the first Monday of week 4, Monday the 14th. They'll come straight back in to play the 5-team championship week. But this is an incredible group to watch. Yeah,
it is, yeah. And I love seeing Norway play and Ras Rickbell and what he brings. He's a gentleman of the game, and yeah, he brings great spirit. And all the boys from Norway, they can do unpredictable things in this week. So yeah, it's just too tough to call that one.
So tough. Sweden, Sher Ali's been in some great form. We saw him really turning it on against the eventual ECL winners, Hornchurch, when he was playing for Huddinge in the ECL fairly recently. Norway, you mentioned Ras Rickball. I'm going to say, watch out for the Sahak attack. It's Mohamed Sher Sahak, one of my favourites to watch as well. He's very, very talented, clean striker of the ball. No easy games. That, for me, probably is the group of death, though. When you've got 3 teams from last year's Championship Week all having to battle, and only one of them will qualify for Championship Week. We'll be back in a second to wrap the whole thing up as we get closer and closer to ECC 24. So there you have it. This is going to be a big year in the development of the ECC. It's the 4th edition, and it will take place between the 23rd of September and the 19th of October 2024. Of course, at the beautiful Cardiff Oval in Malaga, Spain. Just to recap what we've talked about, this year there's more countries involved than ever. We have 32 countries in total. 11 will be involved in the ECCX, which is the second division of the ECC that we're premiering this year, and they will play over the first 10 days. And of those 11 sides, 4 will make it to the ECCX playoffs at the start of week 2. And ultimately, one team will win the ECCX and get that trophy, but both the finalists will be promoted to the ECC the following year in 2025. Then we go to the Premier Division of the ECC, which involves 21 teams this year, 20 to qualify through the group stage, the group winners, and England 11 to compete in that. And look, what we haven't talked about much so far is, well, the ECC sides better be on their toes, because the bottom ranked team there, they're going to get relegated. So even if it doesn't look like you're going to win the whole ECC. That's a big incentive for teams to stay up.
Yeah, well, football works in Europe, and promotion and relegation is essential, to that excitement as well. So bring that in. We're very proud to do that. Look, the European Cricket Network is here as a platform to promote the game, but it's also to create heroes. So we're going to be creating more and more heroes that hopefully are seen by young kids and children, family and friends. It'll keep elevating the game really fast. So the ECX is a wonderful, exciting thing. If I was a player in the ECX, I would be buzzing because I knew I could win potentially every game, could win a trophy and could get some glory, which only inspires more players to come and play the great game of cricket.
ECCX Finals Day, now that's going to be one of the marquee days on the calendar. It'll have all the bells and the whistles. Hopefully get a great crowd down there. Now, speaking of that, now that we've revealed these groups, hopefully the family and the friends of the players might be able to organise to be able to travel. Now they've got that certainty about the dates, and we'll create that special atmosphere that only really an ECN marquee tournament can provide.
Yeah, well, flying into Malaga in September, October is fantastic. The summer goes long and strong there, and being at the Sunset Beach Club, everyone's welcome.
Yeah, so start checking out the Sunset Beach Club website as well for some offers regarding accommodation and these kinds of things. But I've just got to say, can't wait for it. I love that it's been split into two divisions. That creates these extra narratives. Obviously, there's an ECC trophy and an ECCX trophy on the line. Teams will go up, teams will go down, and this storyline will actually take place not just over this 4-week window, but also across the years. Teams battling to get up, maybe facing the disappointment of going down and having to go away, work on things and improve their cricket. So Daniel, great job once again to everyone that's involved in the ECC and just European cricket in general. We hope that you enjoy the countdown. But right now from the Santarém Cricket Ground in Portugal, it's Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo along with Dan Weston. Enjoy what the ECN has to offer. There's a big season ahead and can't wait for you to join us at the ECC in September.